Hello Virgo, welcome to Moonflower Tarot. Before I begin, I just want to remind you that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me, and the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So let's begin. So the purpose of this video or tarot reading is to give a astrological / horoscope prediction for the sign of Virgo. And this may or may not resonate with you, Virgo, if you have Virgo in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, or anywhere else in your astrological chart that you resonate with as a Virgo. So once again, these videos and these tarot readings, they're not going to resonate with everyone because it is such a general reading. However, my advice is for you to take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. So let's start, Virgo. So let's see what we have coming up for you relatively soon. What do we have in the stars for Virgo? Let's see. What do we have going on for the sign of Virgo? So here we have the Devil, we have the Knight of Coins, and then we have the Two of Wands. Okay, so what's going on? So I'm seeing that you might feel a bit overwhelmed right now with something, Virgo. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but with the Knight of Coins, I'm seeing this could be a work situation or financial situation or something that you feel like has ties, it's like you have an imaginary string tied to your wrist, or this could even be to your heart, to your mind, to your body, to something. Even like spiritually, maybe you feel like you have like an imaginary string tied to you where you feel bound to something. But I am really strongly getting with the Knight of Coins that this is probably something financial here. You might be either in debt, or I think maybe there's some, like maybe you feel like you haven't saved enough. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough assets when it comes to investments or whatever it is. You may be critiquing yourself when it comes to your finances, or this could even be, for some of you guys, not all of you, you may have been in a relationship that might have sucked you dry financially, or you spent a lot on your partner or something like that. Or maybe you're in that situation right now, or this could even be a fear of yours or something. There's something going on when it comes to maybe overspending or like some kind of imbalance in your finances where you feel like you have an imaginary string, or like you're bound to something. And with the Knight of Coins, I'm seeing here that you are really preoccupied with work right now, but with the Two of Wands, I'm getting that this is maybe a bit excessive. Like there may be a need for you to step back from work and maybe think about other things in your life, like your emotional, like the emotional area of your life. I know that sometimes Virgos, you are very hard on yourself. You like to compartmentalize certain things in your life. Everything has to be perfect because that is a Virgo trait, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But sometimes there might need to be a need to sort of take some time for yourself, maybe step back from that energy of whatever you're working on. Like when you start to feel like, okay, it's getting overwhelming, like I'm putting too many hours in, or I'm just critiquing myself to the point where, is it really worth the stress? Is it really worth your livelihood and your emotional or spiritual health? Well, maybe ask yourself that question, because it might be worth stepping back and really contemplating what you're prioritizing right now. Like maybe even think of the question, like on your deathbed, when you are on the brink of crossing over to the other side, what are you really going to hold valuable at that moment in time, Virgo? Is it going to be your job? Is it going to be your finances, your assets, your investments? Or is it going to be those around you who care about you or whom you care about? Or even leaving a legacy behind. This might even be separate from something that's been really holding you hostage. That's kind of what I'm getting. For some of you, this could even be like a codependent relationship. This could even be workaholism. This could even be temptation, addiction, codependency of any kind that's really been eating up your emotional state, okay? Like your emotional and spiritual state. I'm getting like there is a need for some change here. Some contemplation, a need to step back for just a moment. Here we have the 8 of air, we have justice, and then we have the 4 of water. So here I'm seeing, Virgo, there is a legitimate fear of something that is really holding you captive. Like, I don't know what this fear is in your mind. This could even be a fear of debt, a fear of maybe drowning in debt, a fear of things not being perfect, maybe not having all your ducks in a row. This could even be a fear of change. I'm getting for a lot of you guys, this could be like a fear of change or fear of status quo. So there may be something changing at work or something changing around you that you're not feeling very comfortable with. You're not feeling very in sync with. I'm also getting maybe you're a bit emotionally repressed for some reason, or repressed. You're feeling kind of like repressed. And a way that you might be dealing with this or coping with this feeling of like repression or being like pressed down emotionally, like you can't express yourself, or maybe you're not allowing yourself to express yourself freely emotionally, is maybe you're using workaholism, or you're using work, or you're using something like some kind of mask or cover to hide the fact that you may be feeling very emotionally bogged down and pressed down and repressed. Like you're not allowing yourself to truly express yourself emotionally. And with the 4 of water, I'm getting that maybe there's some attention seeking in other ways. So this emotional repression, or this could even be you're repressing yourself in multiple ways. I'm getting that one way that it's coming out is you might be seeking attention in other ways, like in strange ways, like it's coming out in interesting ways. I don't know if that's something that you've been noticing or that you have been coming to terms with lately, but yeah, you have definitely been. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of emotional repression. So let's try to get to the bottom of this. What is going on for Virgo? Because I'm seeing this is bothering you right now. It's something that might be bubbling inside you, or something, it's like brewing inside you. And if it's not expressed in a healthy way, I am seeing that it can get bottled up, and God knows what can happen. So here we have the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 9 of Swords, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so for sure with the 5 of Pentacles, okay, now it's becoming more clear. This fear that you have of change, or it's like you're walking on eggshells, but with yourself, almost like you're just so afraid of change. You're so afraid of anything around you that is happening due to like a scarcity mindset, poverty, like a fear of poverty. I'm seeing here, Virgo, that you may have a fear of poverty, but to the point where it's like you fear it so much that it starts to own you, like these fears. But are they based in reality, or is this just paranoia? That's what I'm seeing. Because with the 9 of Swords usually indicates paranoia, anxiety, sleepless nights, unfounded fears that you may be internalizing. Like, see, in this card, you see all these people pointing fingers, judging, being harsh to this individual, but this is just an illusion. This is just fear, and sometimes often fear can just be an illusion. Like there really is nothing to fear, but maybe the illusion of fear itself. That's honestly what I'm getting here, Virgo. Like I'm getting some unfounded thoughts, like you may be feeling like just like you're judging yourself. You're feeling judged. Maybe you're even feeling like there's all these eyes on you, judging you, but I'm seeing here not to fret, not to worry, because a lot of this is just just illusion. This is just you mainly judging yourself. I'm getting that there's a need to really get over that as well. With the Page of Pentacles, I'm getting, yeah, I think you're comparing yourself a lot. Like maybe some of you guys, Virgos, some of you guys may be influencers, or you may have your own business or your side projects or creative projects. And I'm getting that you're comparing yourself a lot. I'm getting this mindset, a scarcity mindset, where you feel like I'm never good enough, or look at all those people who are better than me, or no matter how hard I try, I'm like never leveling up. But this is just an illusion once again. I'm getting a really strong need to get over these fears, because if you don't, they will start to own you. And I'm getting that a lot of it does have to do with your finances, like scarcity mindset. I'm getting that some of you guys, like I said, might have been in a situation, in a relationship in the past, where you gave too much to your partner, or they drained you financially or something. And it's interesting because that's exactly what you feared, right? Like you feared that, and yet it happened. Maybe because you're just so obsessed with avoiding it, avoiding poverty, or avoiding, maybe even avoiding giving. I'm getting that maybe there's some not necessarily stingy energy, but like from that poverty mindset, there's this fear of giving to others, but so much so that it's like you think about it so much and you obsess about it so much and you're so afraid of it that it ends up happening inevitably. Because one big thing to keep in mind here, Virgo, is that whatever you think about, you bring about. So whatever you obsess over, whatever you fear, it's like you're constantly afraid of it. You're obsessing over maybe even giving, or maybe even being drained or taken advantage of, that it inevitably ends up happening because you think about it so much, and then it ends up being attracted towards you. That's honestly what I'm getting. It starts like your fears start to own you. That's what I'm getting. And before that happens, there may be a need for some serious change, for a need to once again step back and to really question, what are you prioritizing? What are you putting in the back burner? That's really important here. And also, okay, so here we have the sarcophagus, we have the child, and then we have the stars. Okay, so what else do we have for Virgo? What else do we have for Virgo? There's a need to lay to rest these fears of scarcity, this fear of giving to others, this fear of being taken advantage of, maybe even financially, or just it's like you're obsessed with this fear. You need to let it go. I'm seeing that there's this this might be rooted in childhood. Maybe I'm getting, for a lot of you Virgos out there, not all of you, there may have been a parent or multiple parents that might have been an influence here. With the Five of Pentacles especially, I'm getting that there might have been a parent, or you might have grown up in a family that had a scarcity mindset here, that maybe drilled it into your mind or your psychology, that your mindset that money is everything, or like you can't ever fall into poverty, or poverty is the worst thing that can happen, or losing money, or being short changed or something is like the worst that can happen to you. So I think that's where it started. There's something about that rooted in childhood, or maybe just either a parent or maybe an upbringing that sort of tied you down to being a perfectionist or being a workaholic. Workaholism is really coming through here strongly. But like I said, there's a need to lay to rest these fears and to maybe shift your focus elsewhere before it starts eating you alive, before the fear starts to own you, and to the point where you think about it so much, obsess over it so much that, like I said, whatever you think about, you bring about. Like it starts to happen because your attention is so focused on that. Maybe drop those fears. Maybe focus on something else. Maybe take a step back. Try to look at situations from a bird's eye view. Like what is really going on around me in the world at large, not just surrounding my personal fears, not just surrounding what's going on around me in the 3D, but, really look at the world like from a like I said, from bird's eye view, from like a really broad view of just the world at large, like on a universal level, like what is going on outside of myself, and how, like, what can I do to maybe even help others, to maybe even contribute to the world in a bigger way, and maybe try to take that focus off of I'm getting some of you guys have a tendency to hoard, or like I said, you really have like a fear of maybe like giving to others or letting go of control. I'm getting that a lot of you guys do have a fear of letting go of control, and a lot of that is rooted in childhood here. There's a need to let that go. There really is here. And to really, like I said, look at the big picture when it comes to what's going on in the world. What am I passionate about, or am I passionate about anything in the world when it comes to social causes or causes that are bigger than myself? You know, on a universal level, try to let go of the fear of this poverty mindset, this obsession with maybe finances or perfectionism, or not being able to let go of control. Because I'm seeing here that once you let go of control, things are really going to open up for you big time, and a lot of doors will open that you never knew were possible because you're finally letting go. And I think a lot of this does have to do with the law of attraction as well. Whatever you obsess over will come towards you. At least that's what I believe. This may or may not be true for all of you. So you may want to lay to rest fear, the fear of, the scarcity mindset, fear of poverty. Just put that in the back burner for a little bit, or at least try to figure out ways to prioritize other things so that you can bring about your dreams, open doors for the opposite of scarcity or poverty, abundance. Looking at things on a universal scale, from a bird's eye view, look at the world at large. Try to step outside of your own problems, maybe try to step outside of things going on around you, like the people around you. Try to maybe just venture out of that place, and maybe even plan to travel, or maybe communicate with people outside of just your everyday, maybe in other countries or in other places, in other mindsets, in other, maybe try to experience walking in somebody else's shoes that you may never have attempted to, do before. Maybe you never attempted to open your mind in that way, but I'm seeing here that even if you are very much open-minded and very cultured and very worldly person, I'm seeing that there's an emphasis on needing to maybe look into that a bit further here, to try to prioritize something else, something bigger, something more important on a universal scale. I'm not saying that you have to hand out to the poor, or that you have to necessarily volunteer at the homeless shelter or anything like that. But I am seeing here that a little bit of that goes a long way. So even if it's looking into social causes that you may or may not care about, that you may or may not be able to contribute to in small ways, even virtually, even digitally, online or what have you, there's a need to maybe hone your ability to contribute in a service-oriented way. Because I know that Virgo, you are actually, you have a huge capacity to be kind, to be giving, to show acts of service. But I'm seeing that that's blocked, maybe by way of a blocked, for some reason I'm getting like a blocked heart chakra, or something that's rooted in childhood here that's really flaring up as of late, and that's why there's a need to sort of look outside that and try to hone into sort of like that area of service that you have a capacity for. You really do, but I'm seeing that that's blocked right now, and that may be blocking you from manifesting things. However, if you focus your attention on those things, I'm seeing an increased opening of doors, increased law of attraction once you let go of those fears, let go of that poverty and scarcity mindset, and really try to hone in on a place of generosity, or from a place of generosity, from a place of service, from a place of looking at the world at large, outside of just people around you or your own situation, your own personal situations. So moving on, so here we have the owl, we have burden, and then we have the frog. So we have the owl, deception, wisdom, we have burden, and then we have the frog, cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Okay, so that goes along with everything that I just said. Basically, there may be someone around you, or maybe multiple people around you. This could just be someone in your midst who might be somehow adding on to the burden of like fear, scarcity mindset, workaholism, of being a little too focused on either hoarding or like your financial assets, like maybe keeping you sort of anchored to that fear of letting go of control. I'm seeing there's a need to try to let go of that. Maybe try to distance yourself from that mindset of, once again, being so tightly wound to the point where you can't let go of anything. You can't let go of even emotional burdens or baggage. There's a need to maybe even, clean up areas around your dwelling place where you feel shame, where you feel like I'm holding on too tightly to something, where you feel like, okay, I'm starting to hoard things in my house, like, or in one area of your place or house, dwelling place. You need to maybe, for some of you, this might help you, look into Marie Kondo, even like her advice on cleaning up things in your dwelling place that no longer serve you. She has a really good system of going through your things one by one with care, and really asking yourself the question, this could even apply to people, things, situations in your life. What sparks joy in your life? This is not necessarily just material things. This is, all of the things that I already mentioned just now. What really sparks joy in your life? You may want to keep those people, things, and situations in your life that really, truly spark joy, and gradually learn to let go of those things that don't spark joy, that you feel like are starting to become a burden, that are starting to own you instead of you owning those things. You know what I mean? It's like we got the devil card earlier. It's literally like you have these strings tied to you, imaginary strings that are becoming a burden, that are really stemming from this sort of scarcity or mindset, or some inability to let go of control. That's something that you really need to focus on, or not focus on, but try to let go of, try to step back from. And once you do that, Virgo, I'm seeing a lot of doors opening for you. I'm seeing law of attraction, a lot of things that you've been wanting to manifest that you couldn't because of this sort of mindset that you're in. But once you let go, I'm seeing a lot of doors will start to open. You'll start to feel lighter, a lot more uplifted, and you will be able to finally let in a lot more positivity, a lot more blessings, a lot more opportunities. So that's all I have for you, Virgo. Like, comment, subscribe, share if this resonated with you, Virgo. And I just want to remind you again that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me. And the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So I hope this was helpful and insightful and at least entertaining. So see you later, Virgo. Love and light.